I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Before they were famous, huh? This is a request from one of my dear friends on here, John the Zero Cool. This is a Patreon request. Thank you so much for that, man. If anyone wants to request pretty much any type of video or review or movie topic, movie reaction video, pretty much any type, you can request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. Babes in Toyland, 1986 film starring people like Drew Barrymore, Richard Mulligan, which I know he was on a few TV shows back in the day. I think one was called Empty Nest. One girl who played the mom at the beginning, and then she played another character. Well, I'll get to that. She's the same woman, Eileen, Brennan, I forget the actress's name. She was Mrs. Peacock in the movie Clue. She was also the cat lady in Jeepers Creepers. She's in this. Jill Schoelen, who was in quite a few slasher films back in the day, like Cutting Class and Popcorn. Pat Morita from the Karate Kid films, Mr. Miyagi, he's in this. Drew Barrymore and Keanu Reeves are pretty much the stars of this. You know, apparently, this Made for TV came out on NBC. Great, the nut busting channel. I wish it was nut busting. I wish I was nut busting. I wish there was a feeling God was nut busting channeling my nut busting capabilities. More like NC nut cracking. This was a made for TV. It's 90-some minutes. It barely had enough fucking story for that. But apparently, you can find it on YouTube. I did not watch this version. It's a 2.5-hour version of this. I don't know what the fuck else could be in this movie that has an hour more of stuff. What the fuck else could be for an hour? I did not watch that. If anyone has, you please let me know. Or not. I mean, I don't know the original story, Babes in Toyland, but it plays off a bit of Wizard of Oz, a bit of Alice in Wonderland, but dirt cheap, where in our reality, Drew Barrymore, who is the star, they say her character's 11 years old, and I'm like, wow, Can you imagine being Drew Barrymore? You went from E.T. and Firestarter to now this made-for-TV shit where there's a girl that cooks for her family. There's a storm coming. She goes to see her sister, played by Jill Schoen, who works at a toy store. Her boyfriend is Keanu Reeves, which I love Keanu Reeves, but he's not good in this. This is when he was having his rust of acting that he had to shake off. It worked well for Bill and Ted, but a little bit after that, he had to take a while until about, I would say, Speed, where he went into his own. So, okay, he works great in Speed. Okay, and so forth. But at this time, no. Drew Barrymore's pretty bad, too. I'm like, why is it that you're better in Firestarter when you were younger than in this? It made me feel bad for saying shit about Firestarter when you watch shit like this. I'm like, yeah, it shows how fall you fucking dropped. But she did come back with working with Adam Sandler, Wedding Singer, 51st Dates, Charlie's Angels, which I don't mind that film. The one with her in it. Well, the two with her in it. I don't even mind the sequel. If you think that's bad, watch the fucking new one. Or watch my review of the piece of shit new one. But anyway. So, they get her a present. Oh, it's a sled. Richard Mulligan is the owner of the toy store, and he's being a dick. So, like, hey, there's a storm coming. Fuck you, we're gone. So they get in a car. They sing a shitty song because they're in Cincinnati. So they sing a song about Cincinnati. Who the fuck does that? I mean, is this part, whatever this original story is? Because I know there's other versions of Babes in Toyland. Do they also feature this song about Cincinnati? I'm like, none of these people can sing. I'm sorry, I love you, Keanu, but you're not a singer. And Drew Barrymore, maybe, I don't know about nowadays, but at this point, she's not a singer. Fuck your shitty song about Cincinnati. And then this ridiculous thing happens where they're driving. For some reason, Keanu, his character can't drive for shit. He's like, this is literally him driving. Like this. So, of course, things fuck up. And the back of the car, the trunk opens and she slides off on her sled and she hits a tree. And then like Wizard of Oz, when Dorothy went to the fucking tornado. I would say more Wizard of Oz than Alice in Wonderland because she gets there and then she's in another land, Toyland, with no fucking babes in it, so that's a fucking lie. False advertising. There's no fucking babes. I see no babes, no hoes, no whores, and no sluts in this. So, false fucking advertising. 0 stars. So, really, Toyland is like 8 houses, a trolley, couple humans, and a shitload of people in fursuits. I'm like, so what? She got dropped to a fucking furry convention? Don't drop the soap. She got into a furry convention? Is that what it is? No disrespect to anyone with who are furries or into fursuits. No disrespect. Seriously, I mean that seriously. I'm just saying that so I don't get shit. No, I mean that if you're into that, pretty cool. Granted, probably be fucking hot in those suits, but hey, good for you. I just say that because these fursuits, this shows the cheapness of it. You can't get any effects, any decent. They look like mascots. They literally look like people you would see at Disney World or Disneyland, ready to wave at you. So because it's made for TV, because there's no budget, no one could look like an actual bear or an actual duck or an actual goose or an actual frog. Certain people have a mask, and the mask is like these toy soldiers. Let me wait a minute. Webcam might have fucked up for a minute. Let me just wait. I'll leave that in. It's real. Do it live, goddammit. Fuck it. Do it live. Fuck it. as I was saying, after I did a drink, there's a scene later on where these toy soldiers come to life. One of them, they're marching this way, and you just see the fucking mask peeling off. So you just see the guy's face, and the mask is like ready to come off when these are marching. I swear it's like a shot where they're marching this way, and one of them is like the bear suits. You just see the fucking creases and the folds. Like, imagine, a fold like that. It's like no fucking care, no shit's given. Fuck it, it's a made-for-TV movie for kids. Who gives a shit? And people in mouse suits, Drew suits. And when she died, went to a furry convention. Good luck. And she falls to a big wedding cake. Because that's another thing. Drew Barrymore sees people that she recognizes, because there's Keanu Reeves, there's Jill Schoen, there's Richard Mulligan. But she's not like, hey, you're my sister. What's going on? Hey, that's your brother. What's going on? Apparently she can't recognize her own sister. Does this girl looks just like her sister? It's also played by Jill Schoen. This guy looks like his sister's brother. Her sister's boyfriend looks like Keanu. But she's not like, wait a minute, aren't you this and aren't you that? She remembered, because she fucking remembers she's from Cincinnati, because there's a running joke where the villain, Richard Mulligan, is like, Cincinnati? And then always keeps calling Drew Barrymore Cincinnati. I'm like, Cincinnati, you fuck stick. And he's dressed up like a fucking jerked off, burnt up crow. Or whatever the fuck he was supposed to be dressed up in. And apparently him and his butt boys live in a fucking bowling ball. I wish the bowling ball would come over and crush everybody in the entire fucking movie. Nah, not Keanu, because then we wouldn't get Constantine and Speed and Matrix and John Wick films. So the villain's going to marry Jill Schoen, and then Drew Barrymore says like the most obvious thing. No, you shouldn't marry him because she likes him. And apparently that works for the moment. And then this is a musical, so there's another fucking song. Let's hear it for the girl of the month, the girl of the year, the girl of the... Fuck, man. And like I said, the fact that this movie was 2.5 hours long, I told you there's barely any story for a 90-minute movie. Because she gets in, they'll drive these shitty cars that sound like bubbles are constantly coming out of it. That's literally how the cars run. I'm like, great, the cars are farting again. Did you give them some fucking Pepto-Bismol or something? Cars are farting again. Put the Pepto in the gas tank, maybe. You have one bear who's a traffic cop. Best character in the movie. Just as a bear is a traffic cop. Don't see that every day. You know what? I take back what I said about furry convention. Because I've seen some of those videos. Because they came up with suggestions. Like, what's this? Oh, okay. Their suits look better than the suits in this. So that's an insult to furry convention. They look better than this shit. And they meet Pat Morita, who's a toy maker. He looks like an Asian Santa Claus. In fact, later on, he rides a sled like a Santa Claus. So it's appropriate. This one time where Pat Morita's talking, and all of a sudden he starts singing like a white guy. I guess because they thought Pat Morita couldn't sing, so they got another person to sing his song. But he's talking with his... Which, if you watch interviews with Pat Morita, he did not have that accent in real life. He only put that for movies. If you watch him as Arnold... Did he do an Arnold in Happy Days? Did he talk... There are movies where he uses normal voice. I think the Van Damme film Desert Heat he did it, his normal voice, but I didn't. Maybe they thought he couldn't sing. If that was him singing, it didn't sound anything like him. It sounded like they just got a white guy to do it. They go to the toilet maker, he pretty much says they can't do shit. Then people just get trapped. Like, Keanu Reeves gets framed for a crime. Then they get him out of jail in like 10 seconds. There's this other guy with them, their buddy, who was Keanu Reeves' work friend in the real world. Here he's named Georgie Porgy, and people call him Fatty and shit. Keanu Reeves was... How could I forget this? The bad guys dumped a shitload of cookies down this fucking trapdoor. So they arrest him for... What the hell was it called? Grand Theft Cookies or Cookie Larceny or some fucking thing? What the hell? I forget what that was, like Cookie Larceny or Grand Theft Cookie something. And then they get him out of jail. But then they keep getting trapped. But Keanu falls through a trapdoor. Then over here, Joe Schoen falls through a trapdoor. Then over here, Drew Barrymore and Georgie Porgy, they all fall through a different trapdoor, but they all go to the same spot. So then the bad guy puts this green fart gas to them. Because if you smell this, you will be turned to my slaves. So you know how they stop it? Drew Barrymore says, we gotta sing a song to stop it. You know, sing a song to stop this gas from turning into slaves. It's the fucking Cincinnati song. That somehow they know. Even though they don't know shit. They didn't know what the fuck Cincinnati was. But they know the song. And you just say, well, this is all in her mind. But then by the end of the film, it makes you want to go, well, it's not in her... That's one of the things, is that when you see movies like this, it's like, well, how much is in her mind? Is it not part of her mind? Is a shift in it? And they fucking know the Cincinnati song, because it was so good we get to hear it again. So good. And so they get out, and then after the film, the bad guy has these slow-moving tree trunks heading to town. And it's a slow-moving tree monsters battling the fursuits. Not even a battle. It just, they get the toy soldiers. Really, the slow-moving tree monster trunks overtake the people in fursuits. And then the toy soldiers, not the fucking good movie with Sean Astin, or the decent song that Eminem did a tip to the hat to when he did his song. But the wooden toy soldiers, they just push the tree trunks back. And this is shot poorly, because you think maybe did some wide shots to see the full bloom of your battle. No, it's up close, so you can't really, maybe not that close, but you can't see shit. It's just chaos, and it's the equivalent of someone mumbling. Like if you could describe an action scene in the vein of when someone mumbles and you're like, just talk. No, they're just mumbling. That's what this felt like. It just did some wide shots. And then Pat Morita comes in and goes, you're out of here. Why didn't you do that to start with? And then Joe Show and Keanu get married. I swear to God, one of the things in the crowd is a lion with a football jersey on. I swear to God, it was a football fursuit and it had numbers. that looked like a fucking football jersey. I'm like, do they even have football in this fucking world? So of course she goes home, Wizard of Oz style, and Auntie M was there, and you were there, and you were there. And pretty much she talks about how meaning of Christmas, and she loves gifts, and she wants to stay as a child and not grow up too soon. And Keanu and his buddy and Jill Sholin and the mom, they're like, yay! And then the movie ends with Drew Barrymore looking, and then the toy soldier salutes her. So it's like, oh great, she is a mental case, and she's going to murder people later on. She's actually a fire starter. She's a real fire starter. See, that's what happened. After the fire starter, she lost her marbles in her mind, her amnesia. Then she got, and they didn't tell her yet, but she got adopted by this family. And now the mental case is happening again. She don't remember later on, and then she's going to get her powers when she's a teen. And then she don't team up when the machines go to shit and team up with Keanu Reeves, and that'll be the real Matrix 4 with her and her fire starter. This movie was boring. It was terribly acted. You can't call them special effects because there's nothing special. It'd be insult to the word special. Let's use another annotation for special. The dialogue talking about cookies and Georgie Porgies and Molly Wallies and Flicky Flackies or whatever the fuck names these characters had. And like I said, there was barely enough story for 80, 90 minutes of what the fuck was the other hour when it's a 2.5 hour movie. The songs were irritating, not catchy, annoying, and your characters could not sing a lick. And even the finale is like the toy soldiers just push the monsters away, and then Pat Morita says, "You're banished. You can't do that to me." What? Because Drew Barrymore said one almost out of the blue line to the tree trunk monsters, "Hey, he made you evil." Was that the difference? Was that what turned the tides of war? Fucking goddamn games of Battleship had more tension than anything in this fucking war. Playing war with fucking cards more suspenseful. Drew Barrymore has done better. Keanu Reeves has done better. A lot of these people have done better. It's just fucking crazy to me that, this guy who directed this, Clive Donner, the only movie I recognize title is The Nude Bomb, because that's the movie that was based on the TV show Get Smart, and you had Don Adams come back as his character of Maxwell Smart. And Eileen Brennan is the lady I was talking about. She played the mom. But then in this world, it was Widow Hubbard. She was in Clue as Mrs. Peacock. And Jill in Toyland was Mary Contrary. And Keanu Reeves in Fantasyland was Jack B. Nimble. And Richard Mulligan, he was on the TV show Soap. He was on the TV show Empty Nest. Mainly known for TV shows. That he played the villain here. Movie-wise, sadly he passed away in 2000. He was in Meatballs Part 2. Teachers. He was in Teachers. I like that movie, Teachers. He didn't do a lot of movies after this. Mainly TV movies. TV movies and TV shows. It's too bad. But I guess, I mean, Empty Nest, that went for 170 episodes. That's weird. That's one of those TV shows I've heard of, but I've never seen a full episode. But it's like, wow, I went for 170 episodes, and it's a show I've never seen. I don't know why that's weird to me, but it's just 170 episodes is a lot of fucking episodes. Does it for like 7 years? That's like one of those shows that I didn't think about. A show went on for 7 years. Do you hear anyone talk about Empty Nest? I just find that stuff fascinating. But I'm alone. I don't know why. But yeah, this movie fucking... There's no babes, false fucking advertising. There was a Toyland, barely. I've seen people's fucking houses bigger than Toyland. And... Cookie grand larceny. Oh my god, that's what they fucking called it. I just remember cookie grand larceny. That's what Keanu Reeves' character was arrested for. Cookie grand larceny. If that doesn't signify how fucking lame this film is, I don't know what does. So, Babes in Toyland, fuck that. Although it's still better than Knock Knock with Keanu Reeves. I'll tell you that much. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.